Beloved brothers and dear friends, the Feast of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, in the context of the 175th anniversary of the foundation of our congregation, has a special significance for us now to deepen our missionary spirituality and commitment. As sons formed in the forge of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, let us long for the touch of the tenderness of her heart, the revolution of tenderness in our lives and ministries. When we do personality assessment, often we are asked to describe the personality of our parent, mention the outstanding qualities of that parent. The question that follows is how those qualities are present in our character and influence our behavior. Let us contemplate the beauty of the heart of Mary and discover how these qualities form our own charismatic character. As Father Claret was so moved by his contemplation of the heart of Mary that he found no better identification for his missionaries whom he wanted to be and be called the sons of the heart of Mary. No wonder how Claret felt close to the Apostle John, who welcomed Mary to his home and even used his own expression speaking of Jesus and his relationship as the beloved disciple. Apostle even says about love of God that how wonderful is God's love for us, and we are indeed children of God. We are called and are children of God. He seems to use that expression for also the Son of the Heart of Mary. Let us now reflect the mystery that the Immaculate Heart of Mary signifies in our spiritual life and ministry. Holiness in the homeless of God with us. Contemplating Mary, we do not see much show. We see the beautiful encounter happening in the home, in her home, and her response in the naturalness of a village girl responding with a firm fiat to God's call. Beautiful things happen in our ordinariness, not under the zoom of a camera and the limelight of the social media. How can we cherish that homeliness of God with us in our own hearts? Secondly, she has a heart that contemplates, cherishing the Word of God in her heart, and in that light sees the events of life and makes sense into that. Gospel of Luke clearly says that she cherished everything in her heart. I think we need to cultivate that culture. In the light of the Word, we are able to see what is happening in our life and make sense of it. A third element is a heart that reaches out to others. Even when she herself has a need and a situation of precariousness, she went out to console and be present to Elizabeth, who was in a dire need. We missionaries should be the consolation of God for the people among whom we are present. The tenacity of our heart to work in privations, to accept work, and live in challenging situations is in our DNA. If we lose that, I think we lose much of what we are to be in the world today. Fourth, a heart faithful to the very end. We see her being resilient and faithful to the very end, and has a capacity to stand at the foot of the cross. And her heart grows to that divine height. What Jesus himself says to his disciples, he loved them and loved them to the very end. The heart of Mary is our solace and refuge in times of suffering, illness, trials and persecutions. And let us allow our heart to be rooted in that love which Jesus proclaimed. And from that love comes our audaciousness. We have our founder and our martyrs and thousands of missionaries who are the courage to follow these footsteps and look at the heart of Mary and be on fire, formed in that forge, and be on fire to proclaim the joy of the gospel, radiating joy and gratitude from our hearts to all those whom we come across. Let this Jubilee year and the celebration of this feast within this year be an occasion for us to set fire, to be set fire on God's love and spread that fire wherever we go.